And here we go, folks. We are back. Thank you for your patience. And my goodness, that got dramatic. Uh, Jay, can you hear me? Wait, you're muted.
And I'm
You're
just
muted.
running my mouth over here. I'm like, yes, I can hear you. And yeah. And
Yeah.
I am here.
Cool. I mean, it happens to every stream that I see that mutes in the midst. Yeah, I don't watch a lot of streams. I was watching Black Dice Society. I like them. I like that crew, and B. Dave Walters is pretty awesome. And I feel like they go through that all the time. So if that crew can
Right.
go through it,
Yeah.
I feel less bad that occasionally we get caught with our mute up. That is all right. Awesome. So the con, yeah, let's talk about how that happens. Because I think, yeah, we need to figure that out. How does succession happen? Is it just obvious? Is there something formal? Is there, now that the other cons are kind of all in the area, do they play a part, or do they kind of back off and let your tribe figure it out? That seems like a way to go.
Right. Yeah. I think you would let that. I think that's I think that's a tribal issue, right?
Right.
They may be plugged in so they're aware of how that actually goes down, right?
Yeah.
Because they may have some opinions about how it happened. Like if I just roll up in my tribe and I'm like, I'm the con now, right? There might be other cons that might be like, well, that's not how that's normally done.
Right.
I might feel a way about that, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think I'm with you. I think it feels like that's a tribe issue, and I don't know how our tribe does it. I think Marduk is not all wise, but wise enough to know I'm just going to let that process happen as it would if I wasn't here, right? And the
Right.
con died, right?
Oh, wow.
Uh, and then whoever that is, right? If it's not me, I will have a conversation with them as if they were the old con, right? I'm here to make sure you're worthy of being con of the tribe, right?
Wow.
Because I'm going to be the con of cons, right? I don't have to be the con of this tribe. I want to be the con of all the cons.
Yeah.
But if you're, yeah, I will push them like I pushed my dad. Is my pitch to them.
Right.
More importantly, though, when you get to it, I do want to go see the elder.
Cool.
But I am easy, however you want to sequence this.
Yeah, I think your aunt, your father's sister, who you went into battle with, Opus, is respected, and they say, and she says, we will not speak of a new con for 3 days while we respect the old con's passing and their spirit going beyond our hearing. And I think there is a bit of a murmur that goes like through the tribe, and the tribe gets, you get the feeling, I like the idea of you like sitting back and letting it go and like letting it happen. Right. What happens, that it's very divided. Some people think you are powerful and will lead the tribe to great glory, and when you are the leader of all the tribes, we'll put this tribe above them and make this the kind of cons, personal guard. and and honor soldiers, and there are other folks who want nothing to do with you, man, who just like, he fed a father to a demon. What are you all fucking talking about? And there is, I think we mentioned him. I don't remember, but there is a son who married to get away from your father. And I think we mentioned
Yes.
him once. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, someone rides out like that night, grabs the fastest spider they can, and rides out to get him and to be like,
Yeah,
you
you're right.
need to come
Yeah.
back and take
Uh-huh.
the tribe because
Sargon.
Marduk, because otherwise it's going to be Marduk and he's going to lead us to into blood. Um, and it's a lot of like talk and debate about is he going to be able to get to the valley where your brother lives and back fast enough
In 3 days' time.
in
Yes.
3 days time.
Yes.
So that's all kind of up in the air. And but in those 3 days you want to go see uh Nanil the elder.
Yes.
And is that like immediate, or do you like let things sit for a day or two?
Yeah, I let
Or
things sit for a day or two. I'm pretty sure
cool.
she knows the Khan got fed to Phobos.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, in that day that I'm letting things sit, I will make sure she's aware that that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, cool. um yeah, you go to visit her. It's funny you should say that. Like, I have plans for exactly what was happening with her, so I'm excited that she's the one you sought out, because uh I knew. Yeah, so yeah, that's interesting. It's just real luck and serendipity, and I love it. You go to talk to her, and her children uh are in guard around her tent, and they say, you may go speak with her, but that blade must stay out here.
Would you ask a man not to breathe during an
Yes.
audience with someone?
If it meant making my grandmother safer, yes.
Do you think my father, and I don't say the Khan, do you think my father meant your grandmother any harm?
I think your father didn't have a very good handle on who he harmed. And that has been a problem for your tribe for a long time.
I will not remove my sword. I come to seek counsel with the elder. I mean her no harm. We can escalate this. But I came in peace. I came to talk.
And I think, like, from the tent, you hear her say, the child's name who is standing up to you. Um,
Yeah.
and she says, Dagon, let him in.
I try to comfort him.
And
I'm like, there's no shame. You did well. There's no shame.
yeah, like he was about to let it go until you said that. Uh, he steps out of the way and
Right.
watches you, walk in.
Right.
And yeah, awesome. Let's make a lore roll. I want to know if you know something right away.
Okay. Cool. Cool. My lord's only 4. I know something, but not as much as other people.
Right.
4. There it is. Oh, I know
Nice.
something. I know more than him.
Yeah, yeah. You know right away. You see like Phobos's eye stalks peeking out from behind Nanil the Elder's tongue, and you know that he's possessing her.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah. And she says, and I think her movements are a little bit like quick and bug like sometimes. Like every once in a
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
while, something happens. You're like, oh shit. Yeah, that's right. Phobos is wearing her skin. And Phobos says, in Lanil the Elder, with puppeted by Phobos, says, "What guidance do you wish? I am ancient beyond reckoning."
And that you are, Grey Phobos. What are you doing?
I'm doing what I have to survive.
I'm listening because I don't understand.
When you become Khan, you will make Lanil the Elder guardian of the three wells and the fort. And I will wear her skin until it comes time to wear another. And I will stay in the fort and live forever until I find a way to move beyond it.
You can have these things without wearing her skin.
How is that?
Uh, when I become Khan, or even if I'm not Khan, this is always your place. I will see to that. If
Yes.
she doesn't go along, this is my conversation with her. I want her to choose of her own free will. Otherwise,
Nice.
she will go the path of my father.
Nice. Um, love it. It sounds like you want to kind of push him out of her.
Yes, yes. This is. I agree with his ends. We're on the same page. This is not the method.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. Let's roll dice and see what happens.
I agree. I'm with you.
Uh, I have no idea what's going to happen here. So I'm going to roll. I'm going to roll a couple of different types of dice. I'm going to roll. Orange is going to be Lanil,
Mm-hmm.
and I think this is like her stamina, right? She's just trying to
Right.
survive,
Right.
getting this thing out of her.
Right.
And then, I think it's Phobos trying to stay, and that's his will. And what are you using to like pull him out? Do you think that's lore?
I think I want to convince him out. Right
Nice,
before.
nice,
Right. I want. Yes. I'm. So I think that's will. Right.
cool.
Yeah. I want to talk him out. Right.
Yeah,
Because it feels like I don't have all of his trust then right now.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah,
If he
yeah,
did this. Right. And I need him
yeah.
to trust me because he doesn't know humans like I know humans.
Yep,
But I
sounds
get
good.
him acting out of survival. All right. Here's my 4d10. Woo! It's a lucky night for me.
Yeah, it is. Uh, yeah, I still think it's it's a pretty hideous thing. She survives, but
Ooh, yeah, because they're all on top of each other right there.
yeah, um, I think she like hacks up and body horror vomits out this demon,
Hmm.
and and it's a nasty thing, and it scurries away back to the old place because it wants to it's fading. it would have faded over the course of days and weeks.
Right.
And she points to her water skin because she can't talk because she just vomited out a demon. And
Yeah, I get it for her. I get it for her. I pour her a glass, right? I'm being the servant, right?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I'm going
yeah,
somewhere with this. So I'm being the servant,
yeah,
and I bring it over to her. And if she looks like she's having trouble getting it to her mouth, I will help her get it to her mouth
yeah,
and help her drink it, right? I
yeah,
will do all that. So in this moment, I am the best servant she's ever had. Uh, Only where she's coming up short at, right?
right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. And I think she looks at you uh suspiciously.
She
And
should.
she says, "What do you want, Marduk?"
My father held great reverence for you, and the tribes speak volumes of your wisdom. Um, I'm not from here, as you know. I was abandoned, so I can only go by what I see and hear folks do. And
Mm.
so, as they, that's what I do, right? Have you know how the Khan died? And I say the Khan this time.
Oh, yeah. She says, "I heard that you called a demon in the old speech, and it ate
Before
him."
that, his moments before that.
Ah, there was a fight with one of your guards.
Do you know how that fight ended before the demon came?
Accounts are mixed at that point, and I
If
did
I
not
tell
see it.
you, if I tell you, would you believe me?
Yeah, I think she like puts her hand on your face.
Hmm.
She says, "Marduk, I can't believe you. But tell me, and maybe the truth will ring true, as it sometimes does."
Then let me tell you a story. How about that?
I do like your. She says, she smiles and she says, "I do like your stories."
There once was a great man whose time has passed. He didn't know he was not great anymore, and he was brought low by someone way younger than him. 3 times he was brought low. I would say to be Khan, you must be Khan in all ways. Today, that was taken from the Khan because he hadn't been Khan for a long time. And today, he learned that. It was only what was left. Whoever lost that fight would have been fed to the demon. It happened to be the Khan. You're the elder. Are you fit to be elder? And then I set her glass of water back down.
She takes a gulp and she says, "Am I fit to be elder? What does that mean?"
Oh, don't do that. Am I still here?
Yeah.
My
I can.
okay,
Yep.
there we go. Oof. My monitor was going to sleep.
Okay.
Everything was shutting down, but I stopped it.
Thank you.
Uh, I say, everyone seeks out your counsel and your wisdom, and I have no reason to fault any of that. You have lived years, decades, more experience than I, and I would appreciate long counsels with you in the future. I need your support to bring all the tribes together, to pay all the debts, so we can be prosperous on Mard. I don't want to fight with you.
I don't want to fight with you either.
But my way is physical, it is mental, and it is magical because that is Mard. I'm not asking you to adopt magical
Yeah.
needs,
Yeah.
but that is my way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at
That's
me.
awesome. Um, that's really awesome. I I love it. Let's see if you convince her, right?
Yes.
Uh, I think I'm yeah, I don't know. And I don't want to make I kind of don't want to make that decision.
No, no, no. I'm good
So
with that. I'm yeah. No,
yeah,
I'm perfectly good with that. What I'm trying to decide now is if I stay inside Marduk, uh, do I want to do this, or do I need the sword to help me do this?
right.
Right? Because this is all the who's controlling who.
Yeah.
Um, as the player, I'm like, man,
I mean, I could see cover profit, like, covering this,
right, right,
like I could totally see, uh, yeah, this being within your, I mean, that's a very, I don't know. I like that you're saying, I mean, you've seen that she has a distaste for sorcery. And I like that
yes,
you're saying to her, like, hey, like, this is part of Mara. Like, if we're going to really have a place here, and
right,
and yeah, like this is what we got to do. And
right,
I just think the way you said it was cool. Like, this is where we are.
right.
uh I think that's awesome. So yeah, I don't know, do you want to, in this moment of uh you know trying to impress and win the heart and mind of an elder, do you want to, yeah, do you want to use your demon, or do you want to just go on your own flesh and blood? I don't know.
I'm gonna go my own flesh and blood. I think
All right.
Marduk is thinking, you know what? If I don't care about anybody else, I don't really care about her either.
Yeah.
Like a 16-year-old saying, "I don't care," right?
Yeah.
Uh, but I think he wants to know, right? Is it me or is it the sword, right? I think
Yeah.
that's weighing on him, right? So I think he'll do it on his own, right?
Cool. Cool. I think, yeah, I think it's going against her will, which is around 5.
Hmm.
And there's her roll.
And we don't. I don't get a score for cover, so this is my will,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, this is your will. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Okay,
and and you also, like, cover doesn't imbue uh any bonus or anything. I think what you said was awesome. I think take a
right.
3 die bonus. Because I just thought, like, if we were at a table full of people, everybody would have leaned forward right there. Like, I just think, like, that was a cool ass
Nice.
moment. And yeah, anyway, so um yeah,
Yeah.
so
So
like
my will is 4.
yeah, so yeah, roll 7.
All right. And I'm still green. So here we go. Oh, so close, so
Yeah.
close.
Yeah. But it's real close, right?
Right.
It's like a tiebreaker. I mean, it almost feels like an Apocalypse World 7-9 result. Like when it's a tie and then, like, go to the next one,
Right.
and they only have one in that next one, and then it's another tie. It just, here's what she says. She
Okay.
says, your brother, thank you, Corey. Uh, your brother is on left your father uh, in order to get away from everything that you've talked about here. I don't know if I will support you or not in becoming the Khan of Khans, Marduk. I will watch how you deal with the next few days. I will watch how you grieve your father, whom you killed. I will watch how you arbitrate justice. on the young hunter you scarred and took into your yurt, and I will watch how you deal with your brother. And then I will know if the man wields the sword or the sword wields the man. Thank you, Marduk. I will always owe you a debt for getting that demon out of my skin and for bringing it out safely. I have never felt anything so horrific in all of my 9 decades.
What you say is
So
fair.
so know
Oh,
that
go ahead.
yeah. So know that I owe you a debt, but where I tell my tribe to throw its support, that is still in the air. The debt is between us.
I would have no other way. I removed the demon because I needed you to make a choice, not the demon make it for you.
It speaks well of you.
I'll leave it at that. I'll leave. But I tap her young guard outside.
You just can't leave that shit alone. You cannot. Love it.
He did good. He did good.
Yeah. Cool. I think on the third day, your brother arrives, riding some kind of desert, like giant desert bat.
Like a
And
winged bat.
yeah. And
Oh.
he lands the bat, and the young hunter who went out to fetch him, comes is rides back with a spider, and yeah, I've been thinking about this guy for a while because I know he's straight up Michael B. Jordan in Black Panther, just like
Yes.
jacked to all hell, and probably like not those types of ritual scars that Killmonger had, but a different
Right.
set of ritual scars, and Michael B. Jordan, cast as Conan the Barbarian, and
Nice.
which is not terrible casting, if I may say, and yeah, he left, and he looks well fed, and he looks happy, and you see him go to his little sister.
Mm-hmm.
Where is she? Beltis.
Yeah.
And give her a big hug, and introduce her to his bat, who she's very interested in. And then, like, when he's said hello to his aunt and everybody, I think he walks right up to you.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I've heard a lot about you. You're Marduk.
I think Black Panther, Michael B. Jordan references. I think
Yeah.
he has the physical imposing figure that he had over Black Panther over
you.
Marduk. Yeah.
Nice. Love it.
So I think,
Yeah.
I think as badass as Black Panther is, Killmonger was bigger, physically bigger, right?
Yeah, totally he was.
Physically more imposing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's the same deal, right? And I think Marduk looks him over, right? And says, I hope all good. You ready to be Khan?
And he looks around like, fuck, like this is not what I wanted, It's like he as two as two middle-aged men who grew up in New Jersey, we know this look of like looking around a place and being like, I busted my ass to get out of this place. Why am I
Right.
back?
Why am I
Uh,
back?
and
What
he looks
happened?
around and he bites his lip and he says, if that's what the tribe needs, that's what the tribe needs.
I think it might. You know your siblings better than I do. Are they good con material?
I think my father has whipped the con material out of most of them. I think in 10 years, Beltis might be a fine con, but I've
On
seen what
this, we agree.
happens. I've seen what happens when little ones have to become con before their time, and it can turn them pretty cruel. What about you, Marduk? Our father did you ill. Do you want to sit in his seat?
No, I want the Khan of Khan seat. But this tribe needs a Khan.
So
And right now,
you are offering me our father's place so that you can put yourself over me in a matter of time, huh?
it's not personal. I was always going to be over all the Khans. But this is my second favorite tribe, and I would see it done well.
Nice. Second favorite tribe. That's awesome.
Do it for Beltis. I admire her as much as you do. I saw you hug her. You miss her. And she spoke well of you.
Yeah, you're a sorcerer. And you're trying to bind me like a demon right now.
This is true. And if you're Khan, I will push you like I pushed our father. And I expect you to push back. And that is good for good for the tribe. I want to see the tribe prosper and do well. It wouldn't do well for me to take his seat right now, today. That's not good for the tribe.
Did you feed our father to a demon because he was an asshole, or did you feed our father to a demon to pave your way to power?
He earned that. I warned him twice. He is marked as a guard, and he disobeyed me twice. And I told him once before those two warnings this day would come. And he is not my father. He brought me to Mard, but he did not raise me.
Yeah, he did you wrong, but you might have gotten off lucky in some ways. I don't know what you went through, but him raising you, missing out on being raised by him was not missing out on much. I'm sure you got it rough though out there. It's not. I know the world's not kind.
If it helps, I thought he lived long enough to peacefully transfer uh, his authority, his rulership.
Mm-hmm.
This was some random act of violence. One
That
might
he
say, go
that
ahead.
he initiated. I'm sure.
He did. And that was poor. That was a poor decision on a Khan's part. He suffered 3 good wounds. I'm not sure he would be a good Khan after that in any event.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes when they get blood, they're just never quite the same, are they?
Right.
Yeah, I reckon I'm going to take it.
How do you think that'll go well over? How do you think that'll go over with the other Khan's children? The Khan's other children.
I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think the only one who it would have been a real problem with you killed the day you arrived, apparently.
Ah, see, here I am helping you out already.
Yeah.
I try to make it light.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, I'm here laughing with you, brother, but I can't help but feel that the gods of Mard are going to make one of us a kinslayer atop the other someday.
Not
You feel
today.
that? Yeah, not
Not
today.
tomorrow. We'll worry about that when that day comes. There is a piece of business ahead of you. I think the tribe will want some resolution on the wounding of the Khan by, oh, where is his name? I wrote him down.
I've got it. I've got it. Somewhere I've got it.
Do something.
Dumazid.
Dumazid, yes. Like me not taking the position of Khan, I probably should not also rule on what the Muzid's punishment should be. That should fall to you. Be merciful. And that's not a demand. That's Marduk, please be that the please is implied.
Yeah. Demuzid's family makes up most of our best hunters. I don't want to start by angering them, and I don't know if he was wrong for stabbing our father. I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it.
Well, I'll leave you to get acquainted with everyone. I'm sure you'll find my tent at some point.
Yeah, and I think everyone's pretending to do shit, but everyone is watching this. This is right? I mean, who wouldn't be watching this? Like everyone is watching this. Everyone is like, oh, they're gonna do it. It's gonna happen.
They're gonna do it.
And so people are walking by and but looking sideways, and some people are off at a distance, pretending to getting their pipe ready to smoke, and then oh well, I just hold on, move to the side. I want to be able to see if this pops off. But
nice.
Yeah.
And I feel like we are close, a schoolyard fight close kind of thing while we're having this conversation. But we're not, we never ever touch or anything. And even when we're getting to a compromise, even here, right, and we're about to break, right, there's no, earlier you saw me pat the elder's guard affectionately because he was doing a good job, and here I'm about to break away from my brother, and there's no physical
interesting
embrace or none of that.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's guarded the same way, right? I feel like
totally
that I think he's right, that I think we both know we're going to be at odds at some point.
Yeah, awesome. And yeah, I think you two walk away, and the next day, I think he's officially, scarred as Khan.
Mm-hmm.
And once that decision has been made, the other Khans, kind of break into are welcome now to make their way into the tribe because they don't want another tribe like fucking around with your Khan selection.
Right.
That's shitty. And
Right.
he holds a feast, and when it comes time for a toast, he says, "Let's get a couple things out of the way right away. Demuzid, why don't you step forward?" And Demuzid steps forward and he says, "What's that on your arm, Demuzid?" And he says, "It is a mark of the Sword of Khans." "Yeah, the Sword of Khans. Put that up on a shelf. We'll be coming back to that in a second." "What does it mean?" He's like, "It means I serve the future Khan of Khans. I serve Marduk." "Were you serving Marduk when you stabbed the Khan 3 times?" And he said, "No, I was serving myself. He was trying to kill me. Anyone can tell you. He put me on the ground, and he put all of his weight onto my throat. I was frantic. Marduk was telling me to stop, and I didn't hear him because of the blood in my ears." "Here's my final question for you, Demuzid. Tell me, Khan and Tana, do you want to stab me 3 times? Do you want to take your shot?" And he like stands up in the middle of everybody and says, "Sometimes people shed a Khan's blood and then they get a taste for it. You have a taste for it?" And he says,
Nice.
"No, I don't have a taste for it. I was just defending my life." He says, "Thanks, Demuzid. Take your place with your family and among our most honored hunters. And thank you for bringing Riyat back. I am not offering to Muzid mercy because he brought Riyat back and affected our debt. I am offering to Muzid mercy because even a Khan shouldn't be able to just hold someone down and choke the life out of them. That's not how we are supposed to do these things. If a Khan holds someone down and tries to choke them to death, that Khan should expect to get stabbed a couple times. The law that goes against killing a Khan is not about a Khan being able to do whatever they want. It's so that we don't live a life entirely governed by violence. So let's not abuse that law on Demuzid, who was defending himself.
Nice.
Now let's take that other item off the shelf, the Sword of Khans. Marduk, my brother, you were sent away into who knows what kind of cruelty and captivity. I ran away from the cruelty and captivity of the man who called himself our father. My family, my friends, my fellow Khans, my brother went into the waste and he took a sword out from a claw, and his destiny, he believes, is to be the Khan of Khans. Is that true, Marduk?
This is true.
There is, from what I have seen, not much mention of the Khan of Khans among the wasteland tribes. among the tribes of the Chris Plains, where my wife hails from, they have a ceremony, a cruel ceremony, Marduk, to test the mettle of those who would be the Khan of Khan. If you agree, and if the Khans are swayed, we can take the tribes to the Chris Plains and see that this right is done. And if you are the Khan of Khans, then your blood will prevail. Is that what you want?
No, that's not what I want. And that isn't what decides who the Khan of Khan is. That makes this whole thing some show or parade or mockery, as if we get to decide who the Khan of Khan is. I may not be the Khan of Khans. Right now, I have the Khan's sword. History will show us who the Khan of Khan really is, not some ritual or some test.
Yeah, and everyone murmurs like they're like, oh shit, what's like they're not gonna let anybody crucify him. Like
That's right. I'm not.
yeah.
I went into the desert and got the sword from the claw. Where did this test originate from? It is I that secured this fortress that we're in and tamed the demon that is here. Where's that in that test? I would be Khan of Khans, but I don't claim I am him yet. I think history will tell you who the Khan of Khans was.
Yeah, and I think like he shrugs like, all right, like we're not going to
Right.
decide today then.
Yeah.
And he says, well, until then, enjoy your feast. And I think like he like comes over to you and like I think he does like clasp arms and like hold you a little close.
Right.
And he was like, I wasn't trying to crucify you. I was just trying to figure out where you wanted to go with this.
It's your tribe. You have to win their hearts and minds. I do not. I understand.
You let me know what's next for you, and I'll do what I can.
I appreciate that. Take care of the tribe. I will figure out what the next steps to the Khan of Khans are. And your fear that we will cross swords some days, I will warn you if I'm aware of why and when that may be. It won't be a surprise. I owe you that much.
Good.
Because right now I don't know, right? That's where I'm like, I have no idea. But you might be right, and I won't do you dirty. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. No, he gets it. He's like, good. He says, you sure a little bit of wine, a little bit of drink, a pretty bit of flesh, and maybe we can talk you out of this kind of cons nonsense. Bury that sword somewhere, get you a happy life. We're out of it, man. You fed our father to a demon. I'm sitting in his chair. I'm the last one he wanted here.
That is true, but there are other fathers I have to make pay. I'm not done yet. And the hour is late, so I'm gonna see my family.
Yeah, he nods.
There'll be plenty of time for revelry. We'll get there.
Yeah, he looks like I don't think there will be a lot of time for revelry where you're going. Like that's the look on his face. Like,
right?
He says, I'm gonna leave those too old to travel with the tribe on its journeys here to guard the fort. And when we make our way through here next year, it'll be set for us. So you always have a place here, wherever you end up going. I
Thank
know
you.
that uh, I know that name. I can't remember. I knew that Balathu wants to send Ria back to Moo's bed.
Yeah. What do you think?
I don't have a lot of folks to spare. Is that something that you and Demuzid would be interested in doing?
We could do that.
All right.
I know he's valuable to our debt alive. I will see that done.
Yeah. And I think he like explains like, this is where the tribe is going next. And if the storms are bad, then we'll go here. And if the storms are not so bad, we'll go there. And he like lets like, in the next 6 months, this is where we're going to be, give or
Gotcha.
take, depending. And so that, if you need to, go on your way, you can. And yeah, I feel like that's a cool place to end. We'll head off to Moo's bed next time. Is there anything else like you want out of this?
Yeah. I I tell my brother about Phobos and the old places, and as
Yeah.
long as he leaves the old places alone, Phobos the demon can be counted on as an ally to help defend the fort. There's plenty of space, room. We don't need to mess with those old places here. We can leave them be, and Phobos will keep to those. And when it comes time for defending the place, he will help.
All right.
And before we end, I'd like to go check in with Phobos.
Cool. Yeah.
Because I want to know this wearing of skins. Can you wear anybody's skin?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you go back into this old place that everybody is shunning, right? I mean, they were shunning it before, and then your
Mm-hmm.
father got dragged and loudly eaten. And now they are like now nobody goes in there, like just nobody. You can't even get like a spider to go near it. And yeah, but of course you stride right in, right?
Right.
And yeah, he looks. I still think he has like bits of blood kind of on him from when he got vomited out of the elder.
Yeah.
But he says, "Your father was delicious. Thank you for calling me. I thought me wearing the flesh of the elder would be what you want. I thought I could bring her tribe under your heel so that you could be kind of cons. I thought I was doing what you wanted."
You would be right. That is what I would want. But that wouldn't work long term. We're numerous and erratic, irrational. Someone would come for her because her tribe wouldn't have fully bought into, and we don't know her arrangements, her relationships, how she interacts with her tribe to fake that long term. So it is best long term that she chooses to get under our banner and knows that is worthy, that is valuable, or knows that there's a stick if she does not do what we would like. But to possess her and make her do that, um, her tribe then becomes unknown. Does that make sense? We're always looking over our shoulder about what they're going to do next because we could lose their trust, where she already has their trust. We'd be faking it. However, How long can you wear a skin?
Long time.
Is it good? Does it hurt?
Yeah, and I think like there's this look in the creature's mannerisms, like, does it hurt? It's like, oh shit, I never thought about if it hurt the person I'm in. Like, right? Like,
right, right.
but then Phobos thinks about it and says, I think it does hurt, yes. But many things hurt.
That is true. You may have to wear the Khan's skin someday.
He says, Antana?
Yes.
Okay.
Someday.
That is a pact maybe we will make someday.
And then I let him know all the things that are happening change-wise for
Yeah.
the fortress, right?
Yeah.
And the deals I made on his behalf.
Cool.
Because I don't know, where we're going to pick up, but I want him to know all that stuff.
Cool. Awesome.
But mostly, yeah, I wanted Marduk to understand the skin wearing thing, and to kind of tease that one day you might have to wear the Khan skin.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Do you want to like know more about this demon? Like, do you want to make a lore roll just to like understand?
Yes, I like that. Yes.
Cool. Clear. And let's get the dice up. Boop. And
I've got 4 in lore.
Cool. I'm just gonna roll 1 for this. I mean, I'm just like, this is literally like me being like, I'm curious. You know what I mean? Like I am cool. Almost a total success.
Almost, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Phobos is a possessor demon. Its desire is to create a religion around itself, and its need is to eat sorcerers.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So, yeah,
that makes sense. Oh yeah, I'll take care of that rogue sorcerer for you.
Yeah. And your dad was clearly a sorcerer, I thought, and then I don't think Antana is
right.
But which is interesting because I think Conan was, right, but I don't think Antana is.
Right.
And I don't want to make like every cool named character a sorcerer, but I think like that's what you know about it. Like it and obviously it can get big. It has some armor. It can hop from person to person as a possessor.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And like you know what's up. And I think Deimos, there must be another demon named Deimos who is some sort of representative of the other moon, who will be some other weird bug demon that maybe we'll meet someday and maybe we won't. We'll see. But cool. So we'll and I also feel like we haven't we are kind of going to a next chapter, but we haven't like this kicker is not yet resolved to my mind. Is that how you're feeling? Or
yeah, I think so. I think you're right. Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Cool. I just want to make sure. And you could have said like, nah, I'm not going to Moo's bed. I'm going to stay here. Like, I just don't want you to feel like, oh shit, Jed's got Moo's bed shit ready. Like,
no.
Okay. It was like, it was, Awesome. And I really liked the way you kind of, I don't know, you almost like put off holding, like grabbing the title and resolving the kicker. You're like, yeah, someday I might be, someday I might not be. Like, I don't know. I feel like the kicker because it started with the sword, I think it
Right.
really is about, do you become the Khan of Khans or not?
Right.
And uh, yeah, and I also like definitely offered you uh, some sort of weird happy ending of with your brother saying like, we could just throw this thing away
Right. Right.
and kind of, you know, have lots of, we could both have lots of kids and, they can be cool cousins and,
Right. Be fat and
things
happy.
we could be happy. But,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I also think it's interesting that, I have other fathers to get revenge on.
Yeah.
Is like, oh shit, like there are other people who did you wrong. Uh,
Right. Right.
that's interesting. So I'll ask probably more before we start next game. I think maybe we'll, you know, think about that a little bit
I
and
like
think
that. Yeah.
about, yeah, think about if any of them are in Moo's bed or are in the Witch King's court or something, and so that we know or are the Witch King, and so that we know that going in, because
Right.
you did have this whole life that we just don't know about, away from
Right.
the tribes. So awesome. I'm curious to see how that journey goes and see how you do in this new environment. That'll be cool to see Marduk. I also didn't put together until tonight that the world is called Marid and your name is
Right.
Marduk. And I was like, oh man, that is awesome.
I like it. Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like your name means the Duke of Marid or something.
The
Like,
Mook of Mard or something.
yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah. I don't
Whatever
know.
that suffix is. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think that's really cool. So awesome. Uh, yeah. Shall we wrap up and call it a day?
I think so. I think this is good, man. This was fantastic.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun too. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Uh, yeah, thanks for joining us, folks. I appreciate it. I am going to put our links into the chat. So if you want to see what's going on with me or see what's going on with Jay, you absolutely can. Uh, Jay just released a recording on his Patreon, with on his Mad J Zero Patreon, where he and Paul Bleakley talk about what they've been playing, and it was awesome. I listened to it today while doing chores, and it was great. It was really really fun, and so definitely go listen. And I will put the links up just so you can see them. Anything else coming up on the Patreon or on Diceology?
This weekend, I will finish editing Kira McGran and Paul Mateus from Simba Room, and that'll go out next
Cool,
week.
cool, cool.
I like talking with Kira. We talk about post cyberpunk. That's a topic that's making its rounds. Everyone's jumping into
Yeah,
cyberpunk, but
yeah,
it feels kind of period. You know how we pick up and we play steampunk stuff, or we
yeah, yeah,
play, I don't know, something way back then. Cyberpunk feels like that to me today. And so when we talked, I asked her what her thoughts were on what's after cyberpunk, because
yeah.
clearly today our modern times have passed what we thought cyberpunk was going to be like, right?
Yep, yep.
And I think that's no longer true. What do we call the new cyberpunk, right?
Right, right.
So I feel like we haven't nailed that for genre yet. I think we see stabs at it, right? I think we see stabs at it.
Yeah,
So that was an interesting conversation, and I like what she had to say about that. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. It reminds me of an early day of Facebook thing where I must have clicked on the wrong thing, and my Facebook account got hacked, and I had to go on and be like, hey, if you got a link from me in the last couple of hours, ignore it.
right,
And this was pretty early on in the Facebook time. And Joshua A.C. Newman, who wrote Shock Social Science Fiction,
yes.
replied, "We are living in science fiction. Our friendships can be hacked." And I was like, "Oh man, that's grim. That's fucking grim."
That is grim, right?
But
That
it's
is
true.
grim.
Like we're living in the we're living in it. We're straight up
Right.
living in that cyberpunk mess. And
Yeah, because no matter how I like William Gibson, right? That's what I grew up with. A lot of
yeah,
William Gibson stuff, and his contemporaries at the time. And no matter how brilliant we thought or forward-looking we thought they were, none of them talked about hacking friendships, right? Or
Right.
the like economy that we have, right? Or the
Yeah.
social economy that we have. That
Yeah.
thing just right. What do you do with that now, right? And then what does tomorrow look like?
Right.
And yeah, so that stuff, I'm like, we never even saw that coming, and now cyberpunk doesn't feel futuristic anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, it definitely feels like, I mean, even somebody, the famous first line debatedly of cyberpunk is, that the sky was the color of a dead television set. And somebody was like, oh, so it was like a bright blue, right?
right.
Because like
That's that. Yes.
what a dead television set is totally different than what a dead television set was back then.
Right.
And now it's this kind of like unreal blue. Like,
Unreal
it
blue.
was such a
Yes.
good way to show like, oh shit, that thing is dated. And I listened to the
Right.
book on tape, the audiobook, pretty recently. It was not a book on tape, it was an audiobook on my phone. But yeah, it like some parts of it are still pretty cool.
Right.
And
Right.
yeah, a lot of it is dated as hell. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and even when uh William Gibson talks about having written that story on a typewriter, and when he
Hmm.
first got a computer, he like called the customer service line of Apple
Right.
and was like, hey, it's making a lot of noise, I don't understand, what I think it's going to explode. And they were like, no, that's the fan, like that's what it does. And
That's what
like
it does.
his science fiction view of computers, he was like, I thought they were these like perfect crystalline things, and instead it's this Victorian fan contraption, and it's
Right.
kind of ridiculous. But yeah, anyway, I think that's really interesting, and I'm looking forward to hearing you and Kira talk about that. That'll be a lot of fun. Cool, man. Awesome. Uh, yeah, I've got my podcast, Daydreaming About Dragons, and if you put the search terms in, you will find it. And put in parentheses or put in quotes, daydreaming about dragons, you'll get there. And I should have a new episode and a new reply episode this week. I've got 2 or 3 episodes kind of almost like 90% done, which is always the most dangerous, because then I kind of like, well, they're 90% done.
Go.
It's the worst. But so I'll try to schedule them to get them published, so that they just go out without me thinking about it this week. So yeah, there should be 2 things coming. And thank y'all for listening. I appreciate having the crowd here. Corey and the Admiral and everybody, Roger. We appreciate you, and thank y'all for joining us. And Jay, thank you for playing and continuing in this weird thing. And
No, this is fantastic. I love
yeah,
it.
yeah, I'm digging it. So cool, folks. I am going to throw up the. I don't think I just. I'm not going to say we'll be right back. I've got to be right back on Mard. Oh wow, I have all kinds of good stuff I forgot. I've got to be right back on Mard. I've got starting soon. Sugar.
Oh, nice.
I gotta
Yes.
get on
Yes.
the. I gotta get on the ball. I missed it. Cool. So let's get rid of that. And awesome. I'm gonna just end it. And thank y'all for joining us, and thanks for watching. And if you're watching this on YouTube, put something in the comments. Let us know what you thought. And if you're watching it in some other futuristic way, be kind to us. We thought this was cool when we were doing it. I don't know. Whatever. Whatever media studies paper you're writing, just
That's
please
right.
be nice. Be nice.
Just be
All right.
nice. Be kind.
Have a good night, folks.